What is up, everyone? Welcome to today's reaction video, and today's reaction was the winner of this week's poll for Voiceplay over on my Patreon. It is, of course, Eleanor Rigby, and this is a song that is so strange for me because I know the song. Of course I know the song. Everyone knows the song to somewhat. And the funny thing about this song in my brain is my brain splits it up into two different songs, and I always have to remind myself they're the same thing because I don't know it well enough. I wasn't raised on it as much as I should have been. And so I know the start bit that Eleanor Rigby, da 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 da. That's what my brain does. Eleanor Rigby, and then da 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 da. Like that's what it fills in the blanks. But then my brain also knows that, oh, look at all the lonely people bit. But thinks they're two different songs. Because it's just not a song that I come across a lot, or I'm sorry, bumped my table there. It's not a song I listen to a lot. It's just not on my rotation, which is probably an absolute crying shame. And I'm probably doing myself a huge disservice because I know it's a freaking masterpiece. But every time I hear this song, I'm like, oh, they're the same. So I had to kind of remind myself. I went into this going, I don't think I know this one. And I looked up the lyrics. I'm like, oh, it's All the Lonely People. Of course I know that song. So yeah, I can't wait to check this out. It's obviously an iconic song. I can't wait to hear what Voiceplay do with it. We're going to get into it now. I believe, and I might be wrong, but I believe this was in that mysterious grey period where there were only the 4 members performing. I might be wrong about that. That's just going off the thumbnail, but either way, it's going to be a banger. We're going to get into it right now. This is Voiceplay's cover of Eleanor Rigby. Let's go. I'm sorry to cut you off there, J Nunn, my man. I am sorry to cut you off. But that intro, yo, when I talk about, okay, there's a weird thing for me because I watch Glee, okay? I loved Glee. I watched it heaps. I obviously know that that's not a cappella really. It's show choir, you know? They do some a cappella stuff, but then there's a lot that has music and things like that. But in the background of that show, there's all the umdug moments going on, okay? And they're like the a cappella type sound. I've never heard a Voiceplay thing that gave me those vibes more than this intro. This intro felt like full on that style of a cappella. It was this kind of classic, amazing, but still slightly cheesy vibe to it of the very obviously voices making musical sounds. And I kind of love it when they do it. They kind of freaking nailed it completely. Because it wasn't like I said, it didn't feel like they were trying to imitate instruments. They were making mouth noises and it worked really, really well. Ellie kills those high da-da-das all over the place. It is insane.
Eleanor Rigby picks up the rice in the church where a wedding has been. Lives in a dream, waits at the window, wearing the face that she keeps in a jar by the door.
Yo, I might be wrong here. I do not remember the original sounding like this. This is like the Eleanor Rigby dance remix. Are you kidding me? I was just fist pumping to a Beatles song. I don't think I've ever done that before. That's bonkers in itself. The way that they've arranged this, that switch up from, like I said, that goofy, fun, almost campy style of doot-doots all over the place into a legitimate, like, dance track. And it's the same voices. It's the same people. It's 4 voices doing it, and yet one was not trying to sound like instruments at all, and one's going, oh, by the way, this is what we do. Phenomenal switch up. And like I said, the fact that this version makes me want to dance to it is a mind-bending experience.
Rigby picks up the rice in the church where a wedding has been. Lives in a dream, waits at the window, wearing the face a jar by the door. Who is it for?
All the lonely people, where do they all come from? All the lonely people, where do they all belong?
Look at all the lonely people. Look at all the lonely people.
Yo, Lane is freaking going off in this one. Lane is on a whole nother level in this one. Like, I don't know enough about beatboxing and how it works. I don't know if there are multiple styles in beatboxing, or if it's just that you do different things to make different sounds and the sounds have names. I don't know enough about the culture or the sub-style or whatever you want to call it of beatboxing. All I know is that I feel like Lane has done beatboxing in about 5 different ways in this song so far that have made the song feel different in each individual part. And it's bonkers because that didn't feel like the same song with the Doot Doot intro. It didn't feel like the same song with Jay Nunn's bit. It didn't feel like the same song with Jeff's bass bit. And then they go into that chorus and that didn't like it's so cool the way that they're changing up the style of it, and parts are making me want to dance, and then other parts I'm going, oh, the vocals, and it's nuts. It's absolutely nuts what they've done with this so far.
Father Mackenzie, writing the words of a sermon that no one will hear.
Okay.
No one comes near, look at him working, darning his socks in the night when there's nobody there.
Why does he care for all the lonely people? Where do they all come from? Oh, all the lonely people. Where do they all belong? Look at all the lonely people. Look at all the lonely people. Eleanor, Rigby.
Yo, it is like it's like it's okay. This is going to sound weird, but this is in my brain a similar thing to when Jeff and Earl did. I think it was Death of a Bachelor. The two of them did together. Okay, this is giving me a similar vibe to that, only in the way of because it was just the two of them. It felt like they both went so ridiculously hard to show off everything they could do with just the two of them. To go, no, you're not missing out on anything with just the two of us. You are getting something special, okay? This feels the same for me. This feels like at a time where possibly people were like disappointed about the situation of the group. I don't know the full story. I know that a lot went on. I don't know if this actually even slots into that time or if this was just a situation where they were getting guest stars all the time, but they couldn't get one this month, or they chose to not get one this month. Whatever the reason was, okay? It feels like they've sat there and gone, if it's just going to be the 4 of us, we need to give them something to talk about. We need to show them they are not missing out on nothing by not having a guest star, by not having a 5th member. We are going to show them bass notes that will shake the ground, a rock sound that will blow your mind, some of the smoothest runs and coolest sounds, and beatboxing that will freaking destroy you. And they have delivered like crazy. Again, that might just be something I'm thinking up in my head, but that's how it comes across to me. That's how it feels, because they have every one of them have turned the dial up to 110. Like any other Voiceplay song, when I'm titling this clip later, when this goes on YouTube, I would have had to say something about Lane went so hard in this. Lane's beatboxing killed this. But the thing is, they have all leveled up in this one to an insane degree. It is absolute fire after fire after fire, and it's bonkers.
Eleanor Rigby died at the church and was buried along with her name. And nobody came.
Father Mackenzie wiping the dirt from his hands as he walks from the grave. No one will save all the lonely, lonely people. Where do they come from? All the lonely, lonely people. All the lonely people.
I knew at the end there, I knew that they were going to do something, and I couldn't pick which one of them it was going to be, because I was like, when they put that pause in there of where do they all, and I was like, there's another line coming, there's at least another word coming. I was like, it's either going to be Jay Nunn comes in real quiet and smooth with it and just sends you chills, or a Jeff bass note. And I should have known it would be the Jeff, because this one was okay. To put it in perspective for you, if you want to know how bonkers this was on a DJ scale, I forgot to pause. I forgot I'm meant to be here reacting, y'all. I am meant to be talking to you guys about how nuts this is, and I was just so caught up in jamming to this, absolutely freaking vibing to this, that like I forgot to pause the video. I forgot to pause the video and talk to you guys because of how much they captured me. This right here, for me personally, this is absolute voice play at its best. Absolute best. I mentioned I mentioned in their most recent video, the name of which has completely gone out of my head right now, but I mentioned that particular one with the cyberpunk style wasn't particularly as much my cup of tea. It was still incredible. They still did bonkers things with it, but it wasn't as much my cup of tea. This is what I'm talking about. This is the stuff that for me personally is just so right. It is just them sounding absolutely phenomenal doing vocals. And like I said, no shade to the other style. Absolute no shade at all, because you've got to push boundaries. You have to keep growing and changing and doing what you do and finding what you want to be. But this, for me, the four guys just sitting there freaking singing their asses off, will win every time. This was bonkers. This was so good. And the fact, again, that it made me want to dance, it made me want to move, and it didn't require it didn't require vocal effects, it didn't require crazy costumes, none of that. It is just them sitting there jamming together. That is just phenomenal. So good.
Look at all the lonely people. Look at all the lonely people.
Eleanor Rigby died at the church and was buried along with her name.
That's the one I was thinking of, Black Hole Sun. That's the one I couldn't think of. But yeah, again, you should go and check that one out as well, because it wasn't my cup of tea, but I imagine it would be a whole bunch of people's, because even with it not being my cup of tea, it was still freaking phenomenal. It's incredible. So definitely go check that out. Good For You is incredible. Superstition is incredible. There are so many good voice play songs, even just on the screen right now. And I've done reactions to a bunch of them, so check out the voice play reaction playlist. Also, if you enjoyed this, check out the original video linked below. Watch it without all my pauses. Give the original a like, a comment, and subscribe to Voiceplay if you haven't already, because hell do they deserve it. Also, leave me a like and a comment, and subscribe to me if you haven't. It means the absolute world to me. Check me out over on Patreon, where I run these weekly polls. I also do weekly TV show reactions, a monthly movie reaction, a monthly live stream, and at the highest tier, you can get a guaranteed reaction right here on the channel. So check all that out over on my Patreon. At the moment, normally we work through two TV show reactions a week. We do one that's voted on in the polls, which at the moment is Ghost, the UK version, which has been hilarious. And I normally do a bonus TV show reaction as well, which I'm still doing every week. But on top of that, we are also working our way through season 1 of Supernatural, which has been fantastic. So check all that out on my Patreon. You get access to all of that for the $5 tier. So check that out. I will see you all in the next reaction video. Have a great day, night, morning, evening, afternoon, whatever time zone you're in, and I'll see you next time. Bye.